Hi everyone, welcome to Are You Experienced, our second episode in the series, and I'm your host, Cynthia Brando, and also I'm the guest today on the show. Normally I'd be interviewing, but since I'm not going to interview myself, I've got Ed Tree to interview me today. So, hi. Welcome back.
It's been so long.
It's been so long.
Are you ready to be interviewed?
Yeah, I have no idea what you're going to ask me,
Okay.
but yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
Unless you're going to throw me a real curveball.
It's not a curveball. My question to you is that I know that you have had a lifelong love affair with music, and we're very interested in playing music and writing. So, at what point did you make the decision to get more serious about music as a career, music as to follow your muse?
Well, I've been thinking about a career in music all my life, but for some reason, I didn't pursue it. I'm kind of discovering now in my mid-40s that I'm uncovering all these things that I've hidden, all these emotions that I've hidden surrounding not following my dreams and why. I would, in the past, I would kind of blow it off like, well, I'm not pursuing it yet because, this has to happen or that has to happen. More like I was in control of this thing when really I had no plans at all. Like I always thought about pursuing music, but I never made any plans to do so until I was in my late 30s, and I was just so unhappy with my life. And I was doing odd jobs, and I had this degree, not in music, but in something else, and I wasn't doing anything with that. And I just wanted to do music so bad, and I just reached a breaking point that I didn't plan on. It kind of naturally happened that it was a point in my life that I couldn't ignore the feeling anymore. So the whole time I had ignored it and would just kind of tell people, I'm a musician. That's what I do. And I would never talk about my day job. I would just say, I'm a musician. But I was doing music in the privacy of my home. I wasn't really out there doing anything with it, really. I would be at home doing recordings and, writing songs. But so then when I was in my late 30s, I just said, I'm getting older and I don't want to, and I just had the realization that life can be very short for a lot of people, and I didn't want to leave this earth not having pursued my passion, my real passion. And I've been going through a lot of spiritual stuff for a few years before that. And so for me, when I was going through that, it was hard to deny the truth of what I was feeling. Mm-hmm. So because I was feeling it so strongly, and I'd gone through this sort of spiritual transformation, it was something I couldn't ignore anymore or put off. So it had a sense of urgency. And so I started researching major music cities, and I was researching Nashville because I had no money. And I'm like, well, I have no money, and I know I need to move to a music center, but how am I going to possibly do that? So I thought of Nashville because it would be cheaper than moving to LA. But then I had a loved one move to LA, and I begged them. I said, "Can I come and stay with you?" And very reluctantly they said yes. And so I was just quickly within a year. I moved here with $450. I gave most of my belongings away, and Robert Sofian let me stay with him for 1 year, which I'm forever grateful. And now he is. In retrospect, after we got through that experience of being roommates. And it just worked out to where I started at that point, because before I wasn't putting myself out there. And I knew if I moved here, or before I moved here, I made a plan that I was going to be motivated and not just hide and be kind of the way I had been. I'd been conducting myself my whole life. Because I am an introvert and I am kind of shy about networking, and I was like, I have to, and also I hadn't performed in a really long time. I just started performing in the small town I lived in about a year, maybe a year and a half before I moved to LA. So I didn't have a lot of performing experience. So I was nervous about everything. But I was extremely motivated and very ambitious to do something. And so I knew that I would have to go through all these things. I knew I'd have to talk to people, and I'd have to go out and meet people and just sort of make things happen. And, you know, that's what I did. It was extremely difficult.
So when you were performing there before you moved to Los Angeles, were those definite steps like I need to start performing because I'm going to move somewhere? Or did you just start performing and then go, wait a minute, this is too small a place, I need to go someplace bigger?
I had started performing a little bit a few years prior because my best friend, she's a musician, and we started performing, but I wasn't actively pursuing it. So we would perform, you know, very rarely. And then when I found out I was going to move to LA, I was like, I better start getting some experience here because I don't know, you know, I don't know what LA is like, and I don't want to be so nervous that I'm going to, you know, freak out when I move here and just not be able to do it. So yeah, that helped a lot, having performed for a solid year, quite a lot of gigs before I moved here.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I got here and I think my first gig was the House of Blues.
Right.
You know, and I didn't know anything about the LA music scene. And, you know, it was one of those pay to play things. And I didn't know what that meant. And so this person presented me with a contract to play at the House of Blues, and I'd have to sell these tickets. And I'm like, this is the thing I love about being older. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that, you know, even though I wanted to play this gig. And so I actually had my first music industry business experience where I just totally renegotiated this contract. And I became a person, for the first couple of years I lived here, where I would fill in for people that missed their spot because they got sick or whatever, they had to cancel. So this company would call me, I wouldn't have to sell any tickets, I'd be like the emergency person.
That's great.
So I started right away doing that.
Yeah.
And so I did that for a couple of years, and then I was very nervous, but then performing did get easier. And it's a lot easier now.
Yeah. Well, you're very good at it.
So that's my story. So this is a new song called Haunted. I've got Ed playing with me here. 1, 2, 3, 4.